Hey, girl. Hey. So in New Zealand,
Yes.
did you hear about this?
Apparently not. But
So in New Zealand, I don't know if you've heard. There's protests going on in Canada, anti-vaccination protests. Did you hear about
yes.
those? Well,
I knew
they're
about
happening.
those.
They're happening in New Zealand as well.
Oh, okay.
So they went to the Parliament building, and they're just sort of camping out at the Parliament building.
All right.
So 2 days ago, they turned on the sprinklers to get them to go.
Okay.
Yesterday, they started playing Barry Manilow's greatest hits and the Macarena in cycle to get them to go away.
Wow. That is, they're either going to get them to leave or they're going to have a lot of homosexuals walking out of that
There's only
building.
so many times you can hear Mandy before you're... You know, I love Barry Manilow, but Lord have mercy.
Oh, Mandy, you came
Hey,
and
man,
you
you
gave me a
say-
handy. That's not how it goes, but
Are you an
that's all I
Elvis
say.
Costello fan?
I do. I like his new album.
I just meant
What?
general.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I like Elvis Costello. I wasn't super. I knew of him, but I wasn't as familiar with him musically as I was.
Barry
When
Manilow?
he, well, no, as when he did that album with Burt Bacharach, and then
No.
like I kind of like it converted me. So yeah.
Okay. I really don't have an opinion on him. I really don't know anything by him. I'm not a fan, but I'm not a fan. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Hey, dear listeners, how are you today?
I think they're good.
Dear
they
listeners, we just recorded an episode of by God, Where's Dorothy, our Golden Palace podcast. So I'm a little punchier than normal, probably.
A little bit.
Little bit punchier than normal. It was a episode, so here I am. I'm talking, I'm here, I'm talking.
But are you here?
I'm here and I'm talking.
But are you talking?
I'm talking and I'm here. Have you watched Ghosts yet? Not the American version, the British version.
I've not watched either one of them.
Oh, okay.
I did watch Hacks though, so I did.
Did
actually
you like
listen to it.
Hacks?
I loved it.
Okay,
I
good,
loved it. I
good,
think I
good.
ended up like watching it like I think I binged it in like 2 days.
I mean, pertinent to this episode because
Totally is.
This is a Charlene episode.
We
Dear
get to see
listeners,
Charlene being a little dramatic in this episode, which I love.
if you have not watched Hacks yet, it is about Jean Smart, who is basically Joan Rivers. And it is hilarious.
Not basically.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It is, and the actress who was her like co-star, fantastic.
I like
great
her a
young
lot.
talent, and that hot Latino pool boy or not pool boy, cop. Oh, he is. Oh,
Listen to you.
what? He's hot.
It's not I'm still hung up on great young talent.
Well, she has a great young talent.
I realize that, but just something about you saying it like that. I was like, oh,
What? She's younger than us.
we're Joan Rivers now.
We are not Joan Rivers. We're
Joan
more
Rivers
Joan
in the 80s.
Cusack.
We're Joan Rivers in the 80s.
I'd rather be Joan Cusack in the 80s, please. Please let me be
With
Joan
the
Cusack.
with the retainer and the head gear.
You know, I really hate the movie High Fidelity. I really think he's a horrible actor. I think John Cusack is one of the worst actors. You
really
probably
loved him.
think he's so hot.
I loved him in Grosse Point Blank.
He's so boring. He's so boring in everything. He's like his magnum opus to me is what's that? What's the one that's they're all the murder mystery one?
Oh, that one. I don't remember the name of it.
It's good. You don't like that
No,
one?
I remember. I just don't remember the name.
That's
of
his
it.
magnum opus, and he's the worst part of it.
Jeez Louise.
Dear listeners, I will always have opinions.
That's why they pay for us. Oh wait, they don't.
They do. Well, the ads do. But
Yeah.
speaking of that, dear listeners, we do have a Patreon.
Yes, we do.
Patreon.com/MimsMaim. I'm updating it to where all of them will just be Mims and Maim. We'll be all one big happy family. And one of our goals is going to be to get rid of the ads.
Yes.
So I have that set up. So if you just donate up to that point, ads will go poof goodbye, and you won't have to listen to them in any of our podcasts. Speaking of Maim, did you know we have 2 other podcasts?
You're kidding. How do we have time?
We don't. So we have 2 other podcasts. We have You Slay Me, which is our Murder, She Wrote podcast. And then we also have Where's Dorothy, which is our Golden Palace podcast. You can find them all just by typing in Mims and Maim into your search engine, and we'll just show up everywhere. We have a couple of other legacy podcasts. Don't listen to those. They're not that good.
They're kind of nonsensical.
They are. We tried one called the Rue Roundup where we reviewed RuPaul's Drag Race, which is what we do here anyway.
And we really didn't care enough to kind of like stick to a format for that. So
right, or talk every week, which is necessity for. I mean, we talk every week, but
to do an entire episode talking about RuPaul's Drag Race,
it's basically what we do now. It is. Really
it kind of is, but we only spend like 5 minutes on it now. I mean, I would much rather spend all of that time talking about the insanity that is Murder, She Wrote.
It is. Oh my God, that is absolutely true. Speaking of Drag Race, who went home this past week?
The straight guy. Maddie.
Oh yeah, Maddie. Yeah, bye.
Jeez. Oh, I was so mad about that. I really was.
Why?
Because so we both know that there are those Southern dudes that they talk such big game, and you're waiting for that payoff. I was sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, Maddie is gonna come out here and like give the greatest lip sync performance ever. And then it was not.
I didn't really like hers the other ones either, to be honest with you.
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it, but at least like she was trying to embody the song, at least, like I don't like that performer, period. Like I don't like her either, but like at least like she was doing like the hairography, and she was doing like at least she was doing some stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Maddie
good Lord, if Maddie did the hairography, the wig would have flown across the room, girl.
Yes. And
but here's the thing. Aside from the dress, like I think there were worse dresses out there than Maddie's. It was crap, but like,
I have a feeling every once in a while the camera got a little close. I could kind of tell that it was like it was much worse up close than it was on camera, because every once in a while I was like, ooh, that's very.
Mr. Mims did have a good point. He was like, instead of those weird ass little scrunchy flowers she put all over it, she should have just made big patches.
Yes.
And like done them around with yarn so they look like patches on the, on the skirt.
If you could have taken that exact same outfit and made a Raggedy Ann inspired outfit, that would have been adorable.
With that same wig.
Yep. Yep. But it was just, it's so crazy too. I made me so angry because when they asked him about it and he made that stupid story about, I just did it as a girl who threw a bunch of fabric together and made her prom dress. I was like, yeah, but you literally said in your interview that you were going for like rodeo clown aesthetic. And I was like, that's a literal aesthetic. Why didn't you stick to that on the runway?
It really is.
I mean, sure, that maybe that doesn't read to everybody, but to people like us, I was like, oh my God, he does look like the rodeo clown ladies. Like literally looks like them. Just stick to that. You know, do a little extra little thing with like a bull or like a little bit of like a red cape or something like that. Like something just to add to that part of it.
And what she should have done with the guy is, if she did the rodeo clown thing, make the blow up guy Ryder.
Yep.
Like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally, I was just like, you just said your act, like what you actually, the whatever. So
no, she's not there anymore.
She's not there anymore. That gold bar is still in play. Ladies and germs.
Oh, we all know who's got it. Willow's got it just in case.
Just in case that her illness gets in the way one episode.
Yes, Rue gave it to. I knew it was either going to be given to Maddie or given to Willow. Like that's. Am I wrong?
But I thought they randomly picked the bars.
Oh yeah, they did.
You just won't let me be innocent, will you? It's
now, you ask Latrice what she thinks.
Okay.
And now in the UK drag race,
yes.
How do you feel about Cheryl? R.I.P. Cheryl.
R.I.P. Cheryl. I hope you climb out of that hole soon.
Yeah. I love her, and Juju should have probably gone home, but there's no way nobody could send Juju home.
I just did not understand Juju's outfit at all. Like,
yeah.
And you know me, I love Juju B.
Yeah.
But good gracious. The way that the nude lining was like all weird and bunchy and stuff. I was like, what is happening here? Because like it wasn't just about like it was all of it was just bad. And I don't understand this quote unquote fire. Is the fire really still there after this many seasons? Is it really still there?
I mean, it was there in the last. Wasn't she just in a All-Stars? It was there.
Well, she was in the Well, no, she wasn't just in the All-Stars. She was in an All-Stars, followed by Queen of the Universe, and then this show. So,
I didn't even know Queen of the Universe was a thing that she was in.
Yeah, she was on Queen of the Universe, too. She didn't even make the top 3.
Was that a singing one?
That was the singing one. Juju B was on that.
She doesn't have that good of a singing voice.
It doesn't seem to matter, does it?
She keeps saying she's got a great singing voice, and I don't.
Adore
Delano is the one with the singing voice.
Oh, trust me, there's already a heavy cry from the people already saying if she is not in the next Queen of the Universe, that there's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, her and Trixie. Trixie's got a good singing voice.
Trixie's one of the judges.
I know she's one of the judges with that big ass hair.
Somehow she's transcended the other queens now.
Well, she's got the most money out of all of them.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, in a singing competition, Trixie's singing voice it's okay.
She's got the degree in it.
I mean, I realize that, but it's still just okay.
She's got the most money.
You've already said that.
Look, how do you think RuPaul got to be where she is? She married that fracking man out in Wyoming.
Not the fracking man.
Well, you know that, right?
I know about the fracking, but they've been together for like 20-something years.
Speaking of being together for 20-something years, this is season 2, episode 14. Second time around.
Oh. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out, the lights went out. And that is the night the lights went out in Georgia. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Well, now you do.
Oh my gosh, I just realized this is episode 14. We're recording this the day before Valentine's Day, and it's a romantic episode.
I know, right?
How appropriate is? Oh my God, promos are gonna be crazy for this one. I can't wait.
Okay.
I mean,
you haven't done a promo for one in a while, so
it's just been 2 weeks.
I don't see them ever.
Because they're on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And Facebook.
Oh, I'm on Facebook. I haven't seen one in a while. About 2 weeks, maybe a few more.
Jesus, I hate you.
So we're at Sugarbaker's.
Yes.
And Maryjo is singing, "It had to be him."
She just got a little singing bug now, doesn't she? Ever since Christmas.
It had to be him. And we find out that Charlene is missing her colonel.
Yep. Bill Steelfield.
Oh, God. And so Maryjo goes into this little spiel about Bubba and Dwayne, who is these guys who wolf whistled at her at the stoplight.
Yeah.
And she compares them to Japanese World War II pilots who just won't admit that the war is over. In this case, it's the war of Yankee aggression. Dear listeners, we had a couple of teachers in high school that referred to it as that. God.
Yeah. Yankee aggression, Northern aggression.
Yep.
They still called people carpetbaggers.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I missed that one.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Do you remember the math teacher in middle school who had like all of the children?
Mr. Cook?
Girl, you ain't supposed to say names.
Oh, ain't nobody know who that is, girl.
That's
you know
true.
how long you know how long it's been since we've been in middle school. That man done been retired at this point.
That's true. He done been retired. Hopefully.
Boy,
I don't know. We don't pay teachers that well. So,
gosh, he hated me.
although
He
at the time,
hated
girl,
me.
at the time, here's the thing that I don't know if you knew, but state
What's the
employees
tea?
at the time,
What's the tea?
state employees at that time, all you had to do was work for 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you were vested in the retirement, and you would get the insurance when you retired.
What?
Full insurance. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's actually. I need to move back.
You do need to move back.
I don't need to move back.
You don't need to move back. You need
no,
to
girl.
It's too warm down there, though.
Lord have mercy. It's fine here. I'm fine with
Is
this.
it?
It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
I wouldn't go that far. So Suzanne never attracts rednecks. And
Yes.
she was wondering, do you ever wonder why that is? No, and I don't think you do either.
Oh, jeez.
So we find out that Charlene is really smitten with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Bill
Stillfield.
And Suzanne's like, well, you need to start playing hard to get. Let me just tell you. Her man is in intensive care, and he forgot to send her flowers this week. So when he reached his hand outside of that oxygen tent, she didn't grab it. She just slapped it away, and he loved it.
I will say that was by far in season 2 one of the funniest things that they've done.
Yes,
that little story was
true.
without question.
It's true.
Suzanne, never stop being you.
So Maryjo's like, Suzanne, you belong with Bubba and Dwayne.
Which I mean, you know, it's kind of true. Yeah, that's true.
And Suzanne's like, it never hurts to hurt them a little in the beginning. So what you need to do is you need to wear a slinky little dress. When he comes over, you know, like, be all sweet and then tell him, no, nothing tonight. And Julia's like, well, why don't you just go to the door naked? And when he puts his hand in the door frame, just smash his hand in it and tell him to go.
Makes sense to me.
It makes perfect sense. There's some people who'd be into that.
Actually, that's true. I know a few of those.
Yeah, you know a few? Okay, yeah.
Sorry, South Florida's been interesting.
So Charlene's like, Anthony, hey, Anthony, could you, girl?
Wait,
remember
the best part. Anthony, you're a man.
Girl, I'd like just to interject real quick. I have so many more notes on Designing Women than I do on Golden Palace. I just thought I'd let you. There's so much more plot here.
Yes. There's more things happening. I agree with that.
Okay. Anyway, dear listeners, that's a different podcast for a different time. Anyway, Charlene.
The way you just said it, that sounded so weird just now. It's different podcast for a different time.
Well, it is. Charlene asks Anthony for his advice, and Anthony's like, I don't want a woman that plays games. If she's going to help me, let her help me. If she's going to hurt me, let her hurt me. Just let me know where I stand so I don't have to deal with any of this.
Mm-hmm. Spoken like a true gentleman.
There's a phone call.
Who's on the phone?
It's Bill.
Oh my gosh, it's Bill Stillfield. Colonel Bill Stillfield.
Bill Stillfield. Oh my God. So Charlene decides to play hard to get. Instead of 7, she says 7:15's okay for dinner.
Oh, that's nice. I mean,
yeah.
I think she's taking Suzanne's advice. She's getting it implemented slowly but surely.
So we're at Charlene's, and we find out that Charlene does not fit in to her generation.
No.
And she calls Jimmy Swaggart the sexiest man in America.
I'm glad you wrote that down too, because I almost threw up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. Ugh, televangelist.
I mean, it's televangelists aside, like this particular person is like one of the worst humans, especially aside from being a televangelist.
Yes.
One of the worst people ever. For our dear listeners that may be on the younger side, Jimmy Swaggart was a very popular televangelist in our neck of the woods of North Carolina, and he grew to be a nationwide force of nature. Well, that force of nature got caught.
Yep.
Touching himself in an inappropriate way in the motel while watching a lady pleasure herself.
That's exactly right.
And then it just turned into a lot of stuff.
It
a lot
did.
Of stuff after that.
Wasn't Oral Roberts the one who used to heal people by hitting them on the ears?
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
dear listeners, if you ever want to read a classic comic from the 80s, I highly suggest finding Bloom County at the time where Bill the Cat becomes a televangelist named Oral Bill. It is...
Oh man,
chef's kiss. It is so good. And Opus,
what a weird time that was.
Opus really wants to sit in Nancy Reagan's lap. It is so weird. Oh,
like so many of those things now, like without the context of time.
Yeah.
Like, give that to a young person now, and they're literally just gonna be like reading through it, like, I don't understand any of the things.
Well, we don't either.
We didn't then. We lived through
it. It's a lot of cocaine. A lot of cocaine everywhere.
We weren't doing the cocaine. We were not.
We were too young to do the cocaine.
We were only children then.
We were only children, and they didn't have baby cocaine then.
Well, they did.
That was 1800s. Barbara, crack is whack. Crack is whack, Barbara.
Oh, Whitney. Oh. We just had her birthday, actually.
Oh. So we found out that Charlene also writes to the Southern Baptist Convention about women being ministers.
When she said that, I got triggered. I was like, oh my gosh.
Bill is real turned on by her.
Yeah,
they're very fond of each other.
Yeah, like uncomfortably so.
And so we're at Sugar Baker's now the next day, and Charlene's singing "It Had to Be You."
Mm-hmm.
It had to be you. So, and everything that's being implied right now is that they have not had the boom, boom, boom yet. Right.
Well, I mean, she is a good Christian Southern woman.
But hold on here. There's that first episode with Bill. Like, we apparently forgotten about Bill because it was like 7 episodes ago. And she was last episode, she was real into T. Tommy Breed. Like, she wasn't even thinking about Bill because T. Tommy's big self was there.
Well,
but Like, in that first episode, she is wearing his clothes.
I mean, she is, but remember.
But what?
Well, I think it was probably just a case of like heavy petting. Isn't that what we used to call it back then? Heavy petting. You know, like a little bit of over the
Yes,
bra
I know
action.
what heavy petting is. Thank you. Yes.
I mean,
I picture a Persian cat or like a pulley dog, the ones that's got like the dreadlock cords on it. That's
good.
That's some heavy
Gosh.
petting.
That's a lot of what you just said just now. That was a lot.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think that's what it was. It was just
Bill
just
breaks up with her. He's not
Now-
ready for a relationship.
Well, I will say this, right? In this moment,
Huh?
I felt
In this moment, as long
that
as I'm here,
we got to have a little,
what?
a little glimpse of like future dramatic Gene Smart. Because you know, okay. I know what you said at the very beginning before we started taping this. You're like, I bet you love this. You love all this schlacky stuff, blah, 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 blah. I know.
Yes.
However, I love these moments where we get to watch Gene Smart be like this, like, because she's really the only one out of the four of them that has this extra little skill that when she wants to turn things on and be very tender and everything. So yes, I did like that part of this.
Well, next day, Charlene isn't into work, right?
Where
She
is she?
leaves. She leaves and leaves Bill like, you don't affect me, and I think you want me to just be torn up, but I'm not going to be torn up. And she just leaves. And the next day, she's not into work, right?
Oh, no.
So Suzanne comes in. She's like, you'll never guess who I saw on TV last night.
Who, Suzanne?
Charlene was on Home Shopping Network.
What? Why was she on Home Shopping Network?
Well, you know they had some good buys on flatware. I love that a lot. That is such a... Dear listeners, if you did not have the joys of being raised during this time, like of the start of Home Shopping, people were just surprised by the how good the deals were and stuff.
So great. I remember the two ladies that used to work in the office with my mom, who one of her son is the preacher.
Yeah.
You didn't think
I
you
knew
knew
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So her and the other one that used to work there with mom, that was my Christmas like for about 3 years. They were always, because you could tell by the packaging, it was always like Home Shopping Network things for my Christmases. I wasn't complaining. I was a little kid. I was like 8. I was like, oh, this is great. But I remember like that was so revolutionary back then. People could not get over like the price of things and paying stuff over time. My aunt, oh my lord, she loved that pay over time feature.
Easy
like,
pay on QVC.
She was like, I don't have to buy stuff from Finger Hut anymore.
Not Finger Hut, girl.
Yes, girl, that Finger Hut catalog. Yes, ma'am.
Not Finger. I need 5,000 of these little things. Finger Hut, Lord have mercy. So Suzanne is like, you could tell it was her because of the voice, and then she said her name.
Yes.
God. And Maryjo and Julia were like, well, that's very weird because she's just been sitting outside staring into nothing on her porch in a trench coat. Suzanne's like, well, how do you know that? And Maryjo and Julia are like, well, we drove by just see what she was doing. God, they did a stalking before it was cool.
They were just concerned.
And Maryjo was like, well, what did she buy from Home Shopping? A man's wedding ring and a power saw. Well, at that, they're like, we need to go. We need to go make sure this woman's okay.
Oh, jeez.
So Charlene is at home. We're back at Charlene's. It's a mess. She's depressed. She's in her robe. It's not a trench coat. She's in a robe. She's sitting there. Her mullet is a little flat.
I didn't even catch that. If you're right, the volume was significantly lower.
Maryjo is like, you look like Shelley Winters in Bloody Mama.
Yes. any comparison to Shelley Winters should cause somebody to take notice.
That's absolutely true. Maryjo was like, why did you order these things? Well, Odell, her brother, lost his wedding ring, and Daddy needs a new saw. So there's a reason. She's like, I'm not going to off myself, y'all. And Julia is very concerned. She's like, hey, when stuff happened with me, I still took care of myself, right? Like, I may stay in my bedroom, but I took care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And Suzanne says, Anthony wants to know if you want him to beat him up for you.
Which, I mean, I would have been like, yes, please.
God. And Charlene, we also find out, has been ordering things from the Franklin Mint, girl.
Yes.
Commemorative plates for everyone.
This whole episode is just like a trip through time.
Dear listeners, for those of you that don't know, and I don't know if they still do this,
they're still around. They're just online now.
There was this company called the Franklin Mint, and they made commemorative plates and tchotchkes and coins
and stuff.
For like things like that. When Princess Diana died, good lord, Princess Diana's face was all over everything.
I think they had like a 7-plate set commemorating her life, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. One with the wedding, one with this, one with this. Yes. Oh, God. So Julia, we're now back at Sugar Baker's.
Yep.
And Julia meets with Bill.
Privately.
And it's like she's... what's the woman's name? Jane Wyman from Falcon
Jane
Crest. Wyman from Falcon Crest. She's like, if I have a way of getting, she has a way of getting where she wants. If she doesn't, she burns a vineyard.
That's pretty much how she was on there. Yeah.
So Julia shows him some artwork that she says is bad. It's really not that bad. And artwork is very therapeutic. I disagree with Julia at this point, but whatever. I will let that go. She started doing this when Hayden died, and then she met Reese. And Reese told her it was bad.
Yes, which that's not really... Okay, that's not really how you start a relationship, but okay.
Exactly. Well, actually, for me, that would probably work. These
would actually work with you. That's true. Now that you said, that would work really well. Me, probably not so much.
No. So Reese invited Hayden into the relationship. He's like, you keep whatever pictures you want of him. You keep whatever, because I don't want to be necessarily with a woman who stopped loving her or her husband just because he died.
Yeah.
We found out that Hayden had not one, not two, but 3 heart attacks.
Yes. Which sounds awful.
Yeah.
Like extra bad. Like that's the first time we really talked about that on the show, right?
Yeah. No, when Reese was having his heart attack, she was like, he died of a heart attack. I don't remember him saying 3.
I don't remember saying 3 though. Yeah, I remember. So, which kind of adds to like why Reese having like why that was even more triggering.
So Julia looks at Bill and is like, "You got guilt, girl." And Bill's like,
if she had really said it like that, it would have been perfect. Honey, you got guilt, girl.
And Julia's also like, Charlene will help with that because your wife, Nancy, I'm sure she'll invite her in too. I hate this phrasing.
It's a very unusual conversation. The intent was beautiful. The phrasing was awkward.
Yes. So Bill is going to try. He calls Charlene. It's like, fly away with me tonight.
To the beach.
To the beach. To the Gulf Coast.
Because they're that southern.
Where do you want to go? How about the Gulf Coast? And wear the Baptist dress.
Yes, honey. Yes, ma'am.
And
yes,
she's like,
ma'am.
But it's cold outside. And me thinking to myself, girl, if you go into the Gulf Coast, it ain't going to be that cold. And then he ends the call by saying, Charlene, arrow. So Charlene shows up at the hangar.
Soaking wet.
Bill and Charlene have a little bit of a moment. Bill tries to explain himself. It's like, no, it's okay. I talked to Julia. Bill wants to tell her about Nancy, and she's like, yes, please. And she takes off her coat. She's wearing the Baptist dress.
Which is not sexy. It sounds like it was going to be sexy. It's not sexy.
They make up. They start dancing. And Charlene says, Bill, I'm ready to. Do 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 do.
Wow.
I decided to do the full one this time.
No, I was sitting here thoroughly impressed.
No, don't lie. But invite Hayden and Nancy in, please. Sounds like a seance.
It does. It's like it sounded like a cross between a seance and a threesome.
Maim, did you find yourself in Miss Georgia World?
Yeah. Well, I know there was one look that stuck out really well to me this time.
Okay.
The very first outfit that Maryjo was wearing, I really liked, with a giant belt. Yeah, that giant
the
belt
leopard print belt.
Good on her. I was like, oh, hey girl, hey.
Mine was at the very beginning too. Mine was Suzanne in the blouse with the bow and the black skirt. It was very Belks 1987.
My worst was the Baptist dress.
I was gonna choose Bill at the end, and I was like,
he did look nice. He did,
but then I saw his face again, and his
he's
acting.
not an ugly man.
He's not, but his acting is.
No, he's a terrible actor. That's why he does directing
there we go.
now.
That's fine. Just
that's why he directs Hallmark movies now.
In the words of Ilsa, let it go. Let it go.
I can't.
Did you enjoy this episode, Maim?
I thought it was cute. I don't care that you're a bitter person. I thought it was cute, and I know the Bill Stillfield episodes are not necessarily the strongest, but they do allow Charlene to show a different side of herself.
So I thought it was about 80 to 90% there. Okay. I think this was a stellar Suzanne episode. I think Suzanne was on point. I think Maryjo was on point. I think Julia was. So here's my thing. I wish they'd found a different way to do the scene with Julia and Bill. Something else. I didn't like it. It just didn't feel. Yeah, it just didn't feel right to me for some reason.
I mean, for me, I kind of understand. I feel like the biggest problem with the scene is like it was so not Julia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there was no sort of, which I get it, right? She's supposed to have a range of things, but I think because at this point now on the show, it's been a few episodes since we've actually had like explosive Julia. And so it's kind of like getting to that point where you're like, are they trying to do away with that person that we got to love in the first season? Like, because that was such an like, it's been multiple episodes now since we've had like her really explode.
Actually, it kind of makes more sense to me if Suzanne was the one to do it. Because, we got the thing with her and Anthony before. You could have had Suzanne come in with Julia's pictures and be like, Julia would kill me if she knew that you saw this.
Oh my gosh.
This is what happened with Julia and Hayden and Reese. And I think that Charlene would be able to do. And
I think so too, but I think the only reason that it made more sense with Julia is because of that line where he's like, how do I get rid of the guilt? Right? That's why I felt like it was that. But I think that's the thing, though, is like her character is turning into such a more of a matronly character now. Like even though she's not that different of an age of a lot of them, it's like they're starting to really treat her like that now. So it's I don't know. It's just weird.
In about another season, Dixie Carter's hair gets real matronly. So that's, oh God, that hair that's coming up. Yeah.
And those clothes.
Oh yeah. Delta Burke's hair goes real big and Dixie Carter's goes real not big. Anyway, yeah. So I did not enjoy it. Like it wasn't a pain for me to watch.
Oh, that's good.
But like I mean, there was some real truckloads of turkey crap in that first season. So
yes, there was a lot of turkey crap, a lot of souse meat.
South meat. In comparison, this is liver mush, right? This is okay. It may not be as good as liver mush.
Don't be talking about liver mush like that, girl. Come on now.
I need to get me some.
Oh my God, send me some. Like airlift it. I don't know. Now that you've said it out loud.
If you want me to send you some, I will. I can. You have to pay the shipping, but I will overnight it in some some
drags.
Drags, yeah. I can do
No,
that.
actually, I have a recipe for it that I'm going to try again. It actually came out pretty good the last time.
It's as good as Nice's.
I mean, it's going to take some.
Wait, is Nice's your brand?
No, that's not the one that we used to get. We used to get the, what was it, Courier? What's it called? Like, yeah, that one.
Yeah. There's only 2 real brands of it.
Yeah. Oh man. Sometimes when I really want to like gross people out down here, like I'll start just talking about it. I'm like, man, I really miss liver mush, and they just look at me like, what?
I was talking to somebody and I was like, I am craving some hard fried chicken livers. And they just looked at me and I was like, what, is there all the K&W's closed down? You can't really get them anymore.
You and Mom Maim need to go hang out. She can cook you some.
I don't need that many. I usually just want like one or two.
I just said cook you some so she can have some.
I'm one of those that like, I can eat 1 or 2, but like after that, I'm like.
She has the same problem. She's like, I can cook. It's hard to cook them in small numbers.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you got like 200 of them. What you gonna do? Freeze them? They go bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This has been Liver Talk with your host, Mims and Maim.
Why don't you tell our dear listeners where they can find you, man?
All right.
See, I'm trying the silly voices now.
Oh yeah, I know. I love it. I love you have the silly voices. Yep. So if you are, if you're online,
just swallowed my tongue.
Sorry, Maim just Maim.
Mims, Mims, your Maim.
Yeah, no, Mims just swallowed her. Mims just swallowed her tongue. Girl, I thought you were dying there for a second, so I just got completely taken aback. Yeah, don't swallow your tongue no more. So yeah, if you want to find me in online on Facebook and Instagram, I'm at auntie.maim, MAIM. I'm on Twitter at Maim Ministry. I'm in real life. I do stuff as well. So yeah, totally right. It's really weird.
Not in RL.
Yeah, IRL, baby. RL. Yeah, RL. So if you are down in the South Florida area, I perform improv at the Villain Theater, which is at villaintheater.com. I do a weekly karaoke show in Miami Beach called Amazing Colossal Karaoke every Thursday night at a little bar called Kill Your Idol on Miami Beach. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start hosting a stand-up comedy show in Wilton Manors, which is the gayest little spot in America, called Laughs at Lit. And that'll start in a couple of weeks, so you'll get more information if you follow my social medias.
Do you have a start date for that?
It's supposed to be 3 Tuesdays from today, from last week. No, 4 Tuesdays from last Tuesday. So that would be
end of March.
No, this Tuesday is the 8th. The 8th is when we talked about it. So yeah, so it'd be March the 8th. Oh, that's weird. Okay. February 8th and March the 8th are both a Tuesday. Huh.
Yeah, they do that whenever it's not a leap year.
Weird.
Yeah. So okay, cool.
So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But there's another thing to cover. Oh yeah, what about you, Mims?
That's the one. Oh, thank you so much. You like me. You really like me. I'm the Divine Miss Mims.
AKA Sally Shields.
Sally Shields. That's a good drag name, ain't it? Did you... Hold on, before I tell you where to find me. Did you see the meme of Willow Pill with the house owner, the cartoonist house owner, and then Gia Gunn opens the door? Anyway. Sidebar, everyone. I'm the Divine Miss Mims. You can find me at Divine Miss Mims on Twitter. You can find this podcast at Baking Sugar Pod on Twitter. We have a Patreon. You can subscribe to send whatever it is you do on Patreon. Send us some money, damn it. At Mims and Maim on Patreon. Let's see here. What else? We have 2 other podcasts. Maim, you know that? I didn't. It's what are they? You Slay Me?
You Slay Me, our Murder She Wrote podcast.
And Where's Dorothy?
Where's Dorothy, our Golden Palace, aka Golden Girls podcast.
God, Golden Palace used to be a no, it wasn't. I was thinking it was a casino in Vegas, but it wasn't. It was called Oriental something, which it was a racism. It was a huge racism. It was,
as soon as she said it, I was like, oh boy.
They had these things called dealer-tainers that were real bad, like fake entertainers. Like there was a J-Lo that would deal, but she was like 50.
I forgot that you used to have that Vegas thing. You used to going to Vegas all the time.
Yeah.
I forgot.
It was one of my favorite places to gamble. Like the share was your height, and the like.
So she was short.
And black. Yes. So you say it was so. It was funny. There was like the Shakira was getting up to perform because they would go and perform too. And I was sitting there with and it would tell you where the dealer was from. It always does that. And I had like a woman from China, and she was dealing blackjack to me. Shakira got up there, and you heard her start singing. Just heard the dealer looked at me and said, "Ah, shit, not this again." It was. I miss this casino so much.
Did it close?
It got completely renovated. Oh. Like it's a bougie casino now.
Oh.
Like it looked like Dragon Golden in Statesville. Like it the inside was that.
Oh.
Turn that into a casino, girl. Turn that into a casino.
That sounds amazing.
And on that note, Maim, I think we have gabbed enough. Thank you for listening, dear listeners.
Thanks, listeners.
Say goodnight, Maim.
Good night, Maim.
Bye, y'all.